Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kia Tatiana here, and welcome family. If you're new here, please be sure to click subscribe because you're joining the family. I'm so excited that you decided to click on this video. That means that you want to work on poses and you want to work on your angles, and you want to spice up your gram a little bit. Okay, period. I'm a professional model. I am also an influencer, social media influencer. I hate that word, but I mean, that's what the kids call it nowadays. And if you see the lighting changing, it's really because the sun is setting. So I want to get this video out as soon as possible. Well, finish this video as soon as possible. So enough talking. Please be sure to click like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know every time I post a video, and we're gonna hop right into it. 3 tips for you guys on how to pose, how to learn your angles, what works for me, and possibly what can you implement so it can, spice up your own photos. So tip number 1 when learning your angles is playing the mirror. So if you guys were the mirror and I'm looking at the mirror, is playing what side of your face looks good. I know some people feel like both sides look good, and that's you, honey, but I really go for my left side, your right side. So key thing to photos are to always have your chin elongated. It just gives more of a essential look. It just makes your body look longer from the neck to the torso. So when taking my photos, I always try to elongate. So look at the difference of me just regularly just posing as with my chin down. It's gonna look like this. Rather, if I have my chin elongated, it's like, but now I really don't like to have just my chin up and have my eyes looking down. So I tilt my head down a little bit, and you see how it elongates from here. It just gives more of like a sensual look, if that makes sense. So always have your shoulders back, your chin up a little bit, and then your head down. But this goes on just my side. So if you want to do the opposite side, you just do the same thing. I don't really like doing that side, but just see what works for you. So first key is to always elongate your neck. Shoulders always back, because when it's not, it has a possibility of looking very hunched like this. Now, hunched back looks good for like editorials, when you're just like doing these type of poses, or these type of poses, those look good for that. But if we're just taking regular photos for the gram, primarily you don't really do poses where your back is hunched. So I always make sure that my shoulders are being pulled back from right here, pull them back, and I'm gonna stand up so I can show you guys how it looks from here. So if I'm standing up like this, I'm having my shoulders back. Instead of forward, it's like that. Next tip, after elongating your neck and pushing back your shoulders, I love to play with my hair. If you don't have hair, some people have rocking the ball cuts, and that's bomb.com. Play with your head. So a lot of people love to do the pose where it's like it looks like they're touching their hair, and I do it occasionally, not all the time, because I don't usually like mine like that, but it's a cute look where you just have one hand up. Same thing, push your chest out just a little bit, shoulders back, and you just lift up your chin. So it's looking like, so it would look like this, rather than if you have your hand up and your chin down, it's just looking like this. Look at the difference from this to this. It gives more of a look. Now, when you have a bald head or like shorter haircuts, I feel like you can rock that so well. So I would play around with things like key. Whenever playing with your hands, using your hands as a object to play around with while you're posing, you never want to have a broken wrist. I hate seeing it when people pose and it's like, now this is cute when you're holding your wrist up, it's cute. When you have the broken wrist and it's just like this is not unattractive. This is not attractive, you guys. This just looks like your hand is broken. If you even work with agencies and companies, they will tell you never to drop your wrist because it looks broken. you want to always keep everything elongated as possible. So if, instead of this, look at the difference from this to this, or to this, then back to this. This looks crazy. It looks crazy. Always elongate everything on your body. That's just a key to making yourself look longer in photos, but also just stretching out your body to show the fullest potential. So even when you have your taking photos, say if it's a headshot and you're taking photos with your hands like this. So there's some photos I see often where you can do so much with your hand. I say this all the time. Like, you can play with your hand a lot, especially if you don't have any objects to play with, but just don't, it doesn't work when your hand is broken like this. If anything, is not showing, it's hiding your neck, number one, but it's hiding the length of your arm. So when I'm playing with my hand, I choose to not have my hands like this, and I'm just notice how I'm just keeping my chin up at all times. So it may look like a little bit that my chin is down, but as I'm stretching from my neck and my shoulders are down, it's insinuating this part of my body. The number one question that I receive very often is, how do you just flow through in your photos? How do you know what pose to do with different outfits? So different outfits, I do different poses. It depends on what my outfit is, and it depends on what kind of photo is it. If it's a selfie or if it's a full-length body picture. So for full-length body pictures, and since I'm in my home and I can't really show you my full-length body, so full-length body, I love to always insert some photos of how I do it on Instagram and what are some things that works for me. So I always love to play around with my legs. So I'll either do the walking pose, this pose that's called the influencer pose. It's easier to hold, it's easier to pull, it's easier to just move around with so it doesn't look awkward. But as you can see with the influencer pose, this holding your hands, elongating your hands is my favorite thing to do, because it just feels like I'm doing something, and it also looks cute. Like, it's just there. It's like you're just clasping your hands together just a little bit. And then as I move on from the influencer pose, I start doing the walking ones, always keeping my neck elongated. You can do little styles where you're looking down. You can do whenever I do the looking down poses, I look down, but I make sure my neck is still elongated a little bit, because I still want to show my neck. I don't want to look like my neck is like this. I want to make sure that my neck is elongated as much as possible. And then as after like that type of pose, I would possibly do, I don't do it often, something that I'm not really too fond of, don't really care about it, but the looking back pose. But even when I do it, I'll make sure that my neck is still elongated. And then I play around with my arms, you guys. I'll show you the clip and you'll see how I make sure that I'm playing around my shoulders. Maybe one side I'll have a shoulder up, a shoulder back, have it back, just making sure that I'm doing different poses, because then you don't want everything to look repetitive. Something may look good on you, so I always advise just like playing in the mirror, like seeing what looks good with you, what exactly that you just prefer on yourself. In the beginning of like doing modeling and before any of that type of stuff, I'll be in the mirror and I'll just play around. At first I thought it was this side, but I really do like this side. Sometimes this side might look better, but I realized that this side I can accentuate more, I feel more comfortable with it. And I always play around with my hands. When you're taking photos, you just want to keep going. I don't really like the stiff poses where you just pose and stand there. I feel like it looks so fake. So I like to keep it moving, just have it doing the walking. You take 2 steps forward, hold it, 2 steps back, and have the person snapping in between each look, so it looks very genuine. So I do the walking forward one, stop, walking back one, look the opposite way. But whenever I pose, I'll try to do different things with my head, do different things with my head, different things with my arms. So if I'm looking this way, I'll have this shoulder up, then I'll step back and do it this way again, have this shoulder back, and then my face facing the opposite way. You get what I mean? So I have this shoulder up, and then this shoulder up. Maybe switch this way, look, then this way, same thing. You know what I'm saying? And all between that, I'll have my arms doing something as well. So whether I have my hand in a pocket and you see the triangle between here, and I have my hands, whenever I have my hands in my pockets, I always leave my thumb out. You'll see it in the video. I never want to stick my whole hand in there. Having it in the pocket just gives so much, like a little bit of swag, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll have one hand down, just flowing, have the triangle, look down, look up. Always when taking photos, just make sure that you're doing whatever looks best on you, whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't want to ever force anything, because photos will definitely show what you're forcing. So I never want to just push you to just do things that don't look good on you, or things that you feel doesn't make you look comfortable. In essence, whenever you're taking photos, it should show that you are having fun. It should show your personality. It should show what you are, who you're made of, you know? So this is not a long video. I get asked all the time, how do you take so many pictures? Like, how do you pose? How did you learn your angles? And I just want to combine it in one video. It's all about learning your angles, and part of that is just practicing, like being confident. Number one, confidence shows in your photos. Absolutely. So when you're taking photos, please make sure that you're comfortable with yourself, comfortable in your skin, because you don't want it to be a display over on the camera. Selfies just show your personality, so always have fun with it. It's right in your face. Do what makes you comfortable with your selfies, but just always make sure to have your chin back, Always make sure to have your shoulders back, your chin's down, and you just elongate your neck. No broken wrists, ladies. No broken wrists. No broken wrists. None. Anyways, that was my PS for the end of the video. Love you guys. Please make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you in Saturday's video.